Good morning. This is Laura V from Laura V Studios coming on for Being Divine. Um, yeah, a video was shared with me yesterday that got me thinking. And then when I really connected with my divine being the night before, so it was Saturday night, I got this really strong feeling and sense. So I feel like today I can put it into a little better words. Because it's like the question is, what is being divine? What does this look like? Because what I'm learning is that what I have figured out after talking with these women that have been on this journey with me for the last 6, 7 months is that, June was this unsettling period. I just needed a break from invocations and having to come up with invocations and all of that. Because in July, an invocation revealed itself, and it was to connect with, to embody my divine essence, to embody my soul. And then they're like, now embody the frequencies of New Earth. So it was all about really, really making that intentional effort, not to wait for something to happen, but to intentionally start to create this reality for ourselves, embodying our souls, New Earth consciousness. So then in August, I was led to look out through the eyes of our higher self to help break down that wall of separation that needed to happen. Um, and so then September, that first day, I shifted. I shifted into something new. So all that prep work we'd been doing over the summer resulted in this shift on September 1st, which was amazing. So then this whole month has been about what is the shift I've experienced? What am I settling into? What am I becoming? Where is this going and what does this look like? And so I've had a few really strong shifts this month, which were really exciting, giving me a good idea of like what a shift feels like, what it looks like for me. Very helpful. And so I guess maybe it feels more like an invitation rather than a shift, although I think this shift is just a little more gradual. But again, it's what is being divine. And Saturday night, I got this sense of I needed to just stop a minute and really tune in. And I did the invocation that I got 2 Sundays ago, which was embodying and expressing the fullness of all that I am as a divine being, and I could feel that fullness. And then my at one point she said, with God all things are possible, and I felt God's presence. And see, back in August, I had gotten this glimpse of my soul at one with God. I'm like, wait a minute, you're always there. You're always in that place, in that frequency. You're always there, even though I'm here. So how does that work? And so it's been like, hang on. We're here too. It's like, wait, what? So it's like we're not in separate places. It's all one. And so it's like, oh, so it's like a matter of shifting perspectives, shifting consciousness into what's really real. And this to me is the gift that Mrs. Eddy gave us back in 1875 when she discovered Christian Science. This is what she discovered, our oneness with God, that these material rules that we've been living by can be overturned by spiritual law. And that is what she was trying to get across to humanity. The problem is, she also recognized there was a lot of hatred of God, just like they hated Jesus. There's this hatred that's been here for a very, 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 very long time. And she had to contend with that. And she had to learn how to not let it devour her discovery. And she succeeded. She learned that by allowing herself to be governed by God, that divine mind that knows all things, literally all things became possible for her. And that was the thing. It's like, we want you to practice being more than doing. I'm like, okay. So I'm just going to make that conscious effort throughout the day to take a moment and really be connected to my being, being divine and let that reveal to me something new. And that's the cool thing. You can be divine. I mean, we are divine, but we're always learning something new about what that is. But the big job is to break free of all of these impositions on us that are telling us that's not real, it doesn't work, it's not true, you're not enough, all of that that tries to shut us down. Like, nope. I think this was the power that Daniel discovered. Why people prayed 3 times a day is because they found out that when they took the time to connect back into that connection with their divinity, with God, things went better. Life went better. And I mean, hell, protected Daniel from a den of lions. So, this is real stuff that can do real things for us because it's what's actually real. That's the whole point. So we are just waking up to what's always been real, the real and the true. That is what we're remembering. That is what we're waking up to, the real and the true. And it's like, what is real? God and me, like this. That's real. Love is real. Love is a power. The allness of me as a divine being, that's real. And the more real that can become to me, that's it. It's like, it's about letting that be more real to me than anything else. And so, how do I get there? How do I do that? And the thing they've taught me, the thing that's worked all this year now, for over a year now, almost over, is allowing, tuning in, relaxing into it, and allowing it in. And that's when I'm connected to it. That's when I'm consciously aware of it. That's when it's real to me. And so that's going to be my job is I'm just going to like make the conscious effort to allow my divinity, my divine being to be what's real for me, to me, for me, that's what's real. And then it's going to be a matter of if it's real for me, then it's real for everybody. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's easier to do when you're in the consciousness of love. That I know for a fact. It's so much easier to do when you're in the consciousness of love. When we are thinking about the other as you're different than me, you're not awake like I am. You're being an idiot, your behavior isn't cool, kind of thing. That's all. That's not being in love. That's being in separation. That's separation. And when you can be in love consciousness, that it's like, okay, I can make space for this. I can make room for this to happen. And without it triggering me, without it pulling me down, you do you, I do me. And if we can find a way to like come to an agreement in some place, then maybe and maybe there isn't. Maybe we won't ever be in resonance with each other. And that's fine. But that's okay. But that's the point. It's like I'm okay with that. Because if you're not in resonance with me, then there's going to be a point where, well, I was going to say there's going to be a point where they just won't be there anymore. Like anything that's not in resonance with me just won't be perceptible. But the fact is, well, yeah, I guess so. You can still have conflict with people who are in resonance with you. Because I'm like, we need the conflict. We need the dissonance to help us keep us growing. We need that. So, well, it'll be interesting to see how this all works. But I know that for me, the reality I have created for myself because they've shown me you're already there. Soul, your higher self's already there, has been there for years now. And we're just waiting for you to like catch up. And this is a world heaven on earth. No aggression, no violence, no fear, no illness, no pain. That's my reality. That's my reality. And I want that reality to be here on earth for me. That's what I want to have here on earth. Because that's what I have when between lives, when I'm in that consciousness that is my reality all the time before I come here and forget. That's my reality. And I'm want that reality here on earth. And I want to share that reality on earth with others who want the same thing. I guess that's where I'm at now. We'll see. We'll see if that works. It's a learning experience. We're creating something new, and the point is to really be clear on what your truth is and what your rock is. And they gave me that early because I was really struggling with that, and they gave it to me. And my rock is I am a divine being, fully expressing in this incarnation my divinity now. And my truth is that I am always one with God, always one with love, with the divine mind that knows all things. And that I know that when I'm in communion, when I'm one with God, all things are possible. I just have to keep tuning into that oneness and letting that guide my thoughts, my decisions, my actions. And that's when you see real magic. So I'm excited about that. But, I'm excited about, I did the abundance activation with Taylor Eaton yesterday, and I'm excited to see where that goes. And I found this amazing um, business marketing teacher who, dang, she's so much like me. She's like, yeah, I have an analytical mind, but I also have an intuitive mind. I'm like, yeah, that's me. Well, that's what I've learned about composers is we have the intuition to allow the ideas to come in, but we need those analytical skills to shape it and form it into a piece of music that can be heard and received well. It's got to be good. And so you need both. You need that openness to receiving ideas, and then you need the editing skills to make it good, to put it out there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like me. And just knowing that. And she's like, yeah, I can't plan out more than 3 months ahead. I can't commit. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's me. I was like, oh my God, somebody like me who's giving me permission to be me. Ooh, this is interesting. So it's been really interesting what has been coming into my experience to respond to, because that's the other thing I shared. This is the thing I've learned is my my intuition, my gifts, they work best when I have someone or something to respond to. That's when things get lit up, is when I have something to respond to, or when I'm really inspired by my connection with spirit. But those two things. But when I'm the most helpful to people is when I have the person in front of me. Like, okay, where are you at? Okay, now let's do this. And when I do live events, I'm tuning in, I'm tuning into my guides, and I'm including everybody's higher selves when I do my events. And that's what makes them really valuable and effective for people. So, it's like I need people in front of me. I can't talk, I can talk to a screen because it's like I'm talking to you, but yeah, but if someone were in the room asking me questions, gosh, this could be even more powerful and more effective. You see what I'm saying? So, I might do that. I might just like be like, hey, I think that's why I want these coffee hours. I put it up in my group. I'm like, let's do a virtual coffee like once a week where they can ask me questions. I can ask them questions. I want to be able to ask them questions and get to know them a little bit more. I want to know my people more. I want to know my community better. And and I'd like to know better how I can help them. And the best way for that to happen is to ask them questions and let them ask me questions, just out of the blue. Like, what are you into? It doesn't even have to be spiritual stuff necessarily. It can be, but I haven't be limited to that. So that's what I'm working on. But it's been really cool how I've been led to certain people, and how they've they've shown up in my world. I'm like, that one, and that one. Yes, this is what's going to help me move forward. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited about that. How people are coming into my world that resonate with me a lot better than others have, if that makes sense. But yeah, so what is being divine? I'm focusing on the being right now. I'm focusing on what is it to be my divinity. And it's not when I'm in the critical, annoying head, like when I'm in the car, I get annoyed with drivers. Well, because like yesterday, they were motorcyclists and they were a group, and two got lagged a little. They were all coming out of a gas station. And where I was needing to get on the road was right next to that gas station. And they made a gap. And so I took it. So there were all these motorcycles in front of me and two behind me. So we're going around a curve and they're passing me and a car's coming. I had to just pull over or there was going to be an accident. That kind of nonsense bothers me. I get really annoyed with the irresponsible behavior that's going on the road, and they're aggressive and causing problems, and it bothers me, and so I react. And it's like, I'm not being divine right now. And I'm learning, we are having a human experience, and that's valuable and worthy. And so I'm not being like hard on myself. I'm just saying I just don't want to be here. I think maybe what it is like it's okay to be there for a moment, but get yourself out of it as quickly as you can. And I think that's what I did because I didn't feel, yeah, I was annoyed, but I didn't like feel like, oh my gosh, I've just lost everything I've gained. No, it was just like, hey, that's not me being divine. And everybody started laughing. And I was like, who were in the car with me? And then I was like, oh, and then I just breathed, and went on with my day. But yeah, so I'm learning what this looks like. What does being divine look like right now? And what will being divine look like going forward? It's kind of exciting. Like, ooh, but just knowing that I am a divine being right now and I don't need to like get there. I'm there. It's already there. It's just I'm just waking up to it more and more and more. Um, but it's I do think I still think this is accurate that like where I'm at right now is I'm there more than I'm not, but it's not yet fully anchored in where it's just my normal or my automatic. Like when I learned how to sing well, there came a point where I didn't have to think about it. I could just do it. And I feel like that's where I'm trying to get to with this is like I can just be my divinity and not have to worry about it, not have to think about it. I can just be it. But see, it's a little harder for me to, I could tell when I was a singer, like when I was singing well. No, I did question it a lot. I played around, I experimented for a long time. It comes with practice and time, I think. But I know, yeah, well, so I'm not there yet. Although I have a feeling my birthday is going to be a big day. I'm not going to try to like make this big event so that like if something doesn't happen, I'm disappointed. Not like that. I just feel like there's just there's this is a powerful birthday for me. I feel like this is a really powerful birthday for me because of the numerology behind it. Um, I love numbers. I love numbers. And all the numbers point to 9 that day on my birthday. My age, the day, the year, it's all nines. It's like, holy crap. So 99999, like all over the place. So it's like, okay. Ooh, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be big. I'm excited. So yeah, that's that's where I'm at today. So I hope that gives you some ideas of what being divine can look like for you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.